Welcome to part 40 of Final Fantasy VIII. Now we're gonna go and see what Selphie wants, considering that she was very depressed as of yesterday, and there's a good reason why. You see, the angle of where the Balam Garden hit Fisherman's Horizon hit the quads. As such, Selphie's stage was ruined. You know the whole thing about her putting the band together? Well, she didn't get the chance. And she was so looking forward to doing so. So now we get to talk to Selphie because, Selphie's stage has been destroyed. Well, there's only one thing that can be said. You can try to cheer her up with Squall. After all, Squall is the type of guy that, would have done so. Although you could also let Irvine handle it. Still, Irvine will try to make you say something to, cheer her up. Of course, Squall is very perplexed at the fact that he's really trying to have human emotions and people are making fun of him because he's constantly drifting off and pondering about why everybody thinks that he has no emotions even though he does. So, Squall now has to go to the headmaster's office. And by the way, if you're expecting any action, don't. This is one huge cutscene, ladies and gentlemen. We won't actually see any sort of action until part 41. So now, Irvine wants to try to hit on Selphie. But also, he brings to the attention that he'll get the Fisherman Horizon repair group to come and fix the stage. Now then, the only thing Irvine is thinking about is trying to, get into Selphie's. Okay, let's just get on to what's going on here. With Sid, he is going to do the unthinkable to Squall. Although Squall is giving a report to Sid, Sid will do, like I said, will do the unthinkable. And that is permanently make Squall a leader in the expedition to take down the Sorceress. You heard me correctly, Squall will permanently be leader to try to take down the Sorceress. In other words, you are not going to be able to switch team leaders anymore. Squall is permanently leader, and if you want to level up any characters from here on in, it would be best to switch them out and bring them to area. Well, you can't really bring them to areas with lower levels because Squall is the highest level person on the team. This is something that can be a problem. And speaking of problems, Sid is announcing that the garden is being repaired, and at the same time, also announced Squall being the team leader. Oh, and also they'll announce Garden being used as a mobile base. Though the administration will still be run by Sid and all the staff that hadn't betrayed him for Norg, Squall, for the time being, is going to lead every exhibition against the Sorceress. Which will pretty much put Squall in a very precarious situation, having people to depend on him, And he's very edgy when he comes down to people depending on him. Sid just threw that on the poor guy. And this is basically the picture I would use for a thumbnail. I really would use this picture as a thumbnail. Squall just face palming for this part. But that's gonna take some editing, so yeah. You know what? In fact, I'm gonna do this. But Squall is outright pissed. The fact that Squall has been forced to do something he didn't want to do. That is a lot of responsibility that Squall has to think about. And unfortunately, Squall is restless yet again about thinking about how he's going to lead a whole bunch of people to fighting the sorceress. That means any sort of wrongdoing or any sort of plans going awry, he can't really blame everyone else. He has to take full responsibility. Meanwhile, everybody else is planning to set up a concert. And Selphie will be bringing in Irvine, Zell, and Quistis, in order to make this concert happen. And yes, this is also Irvine's idea. Quistis, on the other hand, is pretty much afraid because she has no musical talent. But that may actually change, depending on what type of instrument you're going to give any of the characters. So, in other words, I'm just going to give them any sort of instrument. It doesn't matter which. You don't get an item from that anyway. So yeah. What kind of scores that is going to be played all depends on what type of instruments or instrument combinations you give everybody. So if you gave everybody like the first or the first fourth instruments, then yeah, there'll be a different tune played. I'm not gonna take the time to play all of them. I'm just gonna grab some random instruments and see how everybody works from there. We're gonna give Zell an electric guitar. Cause after all, Zell kinda deserves it after his exploits in the Galbadia prison. Yes, slow jam. And if you don't feel that Zell is playing the appropriate instrument, you can change it at any time. Needless to say, it's hilarious that he's playing an electric guitar. So I'm gonna go on ahead and go with this instrument here for Zell. So if you feel that that's okay, just walk up to Zell and talk to him and say, okay, sound good. If not, say, okay, try something else. Next, we're gonna give Irvine a instrument. We're gonna give him a bass guitar. Let's see if Irvine can play a bass. Not bad, not bad. It's pretty good. You know, it would have been really funny. I would have gave them all electric guitars, just for the hell of it. And I'll just say, okay, sounds good, and go on to the next one, which is Selphie. And since my favorite instrument's the sax, that's exactly what I'm gonna give her. Oh, and again, Irvine's the only one you don't have to talk to. I find that very hilarious that Selphie is actually playing the sax. This is just outright funny. But she's pretty good at it, so yeah, let's go on ahead and say, okay, sounds good, and give Quistis something easy for her to play. Since she's musically inept. Just play chopsticks, Quistis. It'll all work out in the end. My god, that's exactly what she's doing. However, the tune sounds a little bit different than how she's playing. Hilarious. I'm sorry. Quistis playing the piano is just absolutely hilarious. So, with that said, we've got every instrument we need. I could go on ahead and talk to Quistis. Oh, sorry, I'm scratching my head there. And we can get started on the band and the plan. So everyone will practice. Meanwhile, Rinoa, I do believe Rinoa may be the person to seduce Squall to go over to the concert. I need an adult. I'm just gonna... You know, every time Squall is forced to do something by Rinoa, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Anyway, you can talk to Rinoa or just try to run away from her. Now then, Rinoa is wearing the same dress that she wore during the dance segment in part 6. And by the way, she was actually sticking her tongue out at people. I honestly didn't catch that in part 6, but it doesn't matter how you answer, she's still gonna try to convince you to go to the to the concert. And of course, Rinoa is pretty much laughing at the fact that everyone can pretty much tell how Squall feels just by his mannerisms and his quotes. Yeah, I started to say Quistis, but yeah, Quistis too. She actually can tell every time he does his mannerisms. So she again tries to make him go. Now, if he says, I just don't feel like going anywhere, Rinoa will say, if you don't go, I'm gonna keep chanting concert until you do. Concert, concert, concert. And then Squall will still go anyway. By the way, none of this will hurt your rank, so it's just something to pass the time. Also, Irvine tells you that he will leave a magazine for you. And not just any magazine, a dirty magazine that you could bring Rinoa to that point. What is on Irvine's mind? Oh wait, I forgot, he's a pervert. Forgot. Well, I have to actually talk to him so that Selphie could get out of the way. But we just have to go down the walkway of Fisherman's Isle to start the concert. And let's see the end result of the choices I made. Seriously, they all sound ridiculous. I could have just gave them all electric guitars and that would be even more hilarious. But to be perfectly honest with you, I think the song sounds a little bit familiar. I mean, is it just me, but it's starting to sound like Godot's theme song here for a second. It may just be the wrong melody or something. I'm not sure. Sorry, wrong button. I forgot, they don't list it as X, square, circle, or triangle when you're playing the controller on the PC version. They just have button 1, button 2, or button 3. And I forgot button 3 was the X button. So that's basically how you change the view of the concert. And if there's anything else to do, I could just keep on going. And there's the magazine Irvine was talking about. Now I definitely need a screenshot of that. Or at least a screenshot of Squall's facepalm, one of the two. I'm really juggling thumbnails here, but you don't pick that magazine up, even though you already have a dirty magazine in your inventory. I don't know why, but you do. Anyway, Rinoa is pretty much trying to convince Squall to be happy. And is at least trying to ease Squall's mind, and Squall, again, is the most hostile person. So what Rinoa does is to pretty much imitate Squall. I don't know, okay, I'll give him that. That was actually hilarious. And that back roll she did was hilarious too. But whatever the case, Squall was just moping. Or more along the lines of he's still pissed off at the fact that he was made commander of the forces. However, he didn't even think to notice that Rinoa would push him off of a ledge. Bitch, is you crazy? Also, I do want to point out that the drop shadows of Fisherman's Horizon look a little bit blocky. I mean, they do look good because of the fact that this is an HD, or at least I think this is an HD. No, it's probably not, but Rinoa's drop shadow looks totally different from Squall's. Her drop shadow, for some reason, looks like she's in her bra and panties, even though she's clearly wearing a dress. Anyway, enough about that. He's still trying to cope with, cope with what the hell just happened. And he doesn't even realize that Rinoa wants him to dance with her. Yeah, well, since she's lost in thought, Rinoa's now gotten bored. And he wants to leave. The fact that, Squall just really wants to leave, and Rinoa's getting pissed off, is just testament to how volatile she is. I'm sorry if I have a little bit of boring, a lot of boring commentary moments, but I just have to wonder, nothing's going on here. It's just a long cutscene, and of course, Rino and Squall having their usual arguments. So since the concert's over with, and they're still playing, I think it was if I had the right, apparently if I have the right music, Squall would have danced, I'm not sure, but I just, with what I got to just move things along. So Squall is now once again having another flashback. Poor guy, he has more flashbacks than anyone in Final Fantasy. But the difference is, they're flashbacks of his past and flashbacks of his childhood.